Koi, Fee Jamieson-Folland, the lifestyle aligner, helping you live the life you love. So, how can omega-3s help us for heart health? So, let's dive into this week's blog. Just a word on what they are. They're actually essential fats, which means that we're not able to make them ourselves in our human bodies, so we need to consume them. And there are three main types that you're going to hear about. We most commonly hear about EPA and DHA, but there's ALA as well. So ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, is mostly found in plant sources like flax seeds, chia, walnuts and hemp. EPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, which is mostly found in fatty fish such as salmon, sardines and mackerel. And then you've got DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid. There you are, terrible pronunciation. And that's also in fatty fish. And this is the one that we'll often hear about because it's especially important for brain and eye health. So heart protection and brain health. Mental calm helps our peace of mind. And it's a form of resilience, if you like. So why are they so important? Well, one of the big things they do, as we just mentioned in terms of resilience, is balancing our stress hormones. So they're particularly useful for that. And it's interesting that people with higher omega-3 levels have lower cortisol spikes in response to stress. That's really interesting. So let's just quickly talk about, I'm going to talk about where we would get them from. So we already talked about salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, it's ideally wild caught. Then we've got the plant options that we've already mentioned, flax, we've got chia, we've got hemp seeds, all of those seeds, and walnuts. And then you've also got seaweed and algae, particularly useful for those of us who are vegans, vegetarians. So let's say you might be like myself, I've chosen to opt for a high quality supplement, knowing that that's a really powerful way to protect heart and brain, and opting for, you'll commonly hear of fish oil supplements. Now, not all of them are made equal. It's super important to bear in mind that it's very common in the kinds of fish that are ideal for us with omega-3s that they might contain mercury these days, very sadly, because it's in the environment that they're in, and they're very good at absorbing it into their bodies. So the catch is, you might find some companies say that they've tested for mercury, but they don't necessarily remove it. So it's vital that the fish oil capsule that you choose is free of mercury. The next thing is the problem with oxidization, basically going rancid. So my discovery is that I never knew this was possible, but it's possible to encapsulate them without oxygen present in the room, to fill it with nitrogen, have nitrogen in the room instead, which obviously is going to great lengths, but that means you're not going to get rancid oil so fast. And to make sure that it's potency guaranteed, to make sure that you absolutely know what's in it. This is super important. So, and also the other thing too, when it comes to fish, is to make sure that it's environmentally sustainable. So if you're interested in looking after your heart and your brain, and doing so with these really powerful, especially the DHA, and you're aware of the risks of supplements, because they can be, as I say, they're not all made equal, then please do message me, because there is one that I can recommend for those who are interested. So, always good to hear from you, and I'll see you on next week's video. Ciao for now.